want to just give some resources here. WordPress.com has lots of free classes. You can check out the theme library. We've actually seen that within the dashboard. You can also see this on WordPress.com site on the internet without having an account or anything of that nature. WordPress has, there's a question mark in the upper right-hand corner, so you can get answers to questions you might have. They have an online database that's very, very helpful. And this is a link to something called WordPress TV that provides lots of videos and even slide decks of presentations at various WordPress conferences that will give you information. This is something I should probably cover. I have tips on how to set up a WordPress.com account. If some of you are that interested in sort of taking the plunge. This is a this is my old pro bono coaching site. So there's a link here to WordPress.com's more detailed narrative site setup instructions, but I try to make it sort of very easy for you. You get a get started screen where you provide your email address, a username, change the password, create an account. And then there are a series of online questions for you to pick a domain, meaning the sort of the name brand. It's the internet name of the site that will go into your internet address for the site. I'm suggesting that you start free in that regard. Pick a plan, and we'll look at the various plans briefly as we're coming to the end of the presentation. Select a plan. Again, I say start with a free site before you make the commitment to pay. They'll ask you questions about your goals, what the site is about. Just give a short title and a tagline, and that's it. And then you're going to get this dashboard, and you're into the website.
Gary, before you go on, can you just dig a little bit more deeply into the custom URL?
Sure.
And if you can just speak briefly on how a person can get a custom URL, that would be great.
Oh, a custom URL. Yes, you can. As you set up a new site, the WordPress.com will offer up the idea to pay for a domain, and these are typically better sounding titles and more meaningful. And the domain charges are typically very low cost. It's say $15, $20 a year. It's not a big investment. So yes, that's how you go about getting a domain. That WordPress.com will suggest it for you and make it easy in that regard. Okay, so these are the learn from the community, the various resources available. There are tons of resources. I have lots of resources on my own website that might be useful for you to look at. Let me broaden the screen here. I have tutorials, and my thanks to Gaddafi again for doing a great job on YouTube selections of past videos. So if you hadn't had enough this evening, you can catch some of the excerpts on some of the points that I covered. These are all on my website. Again, this is a good feature to have if you're considering a website. And then I've got some other features here. I'll describe why you need a website in the first place and sort of go through my elements, some of which I've covered here. And we've covered tutorials, consulting. For those folks who are interested, I am happy to work with you on actually following up and creating a site. If you click on this area, Quick Start, I have what I think is a reasonable package to get started in just a few weeks. But even without paying for my services, there are a lot of free information here that'll be, I think, very, very useful for you. Okay, so you can click down this stuff really at your convenience. So in my sort of concluding remarks on this is, I think a blog really can sharpen your job seeking brand and prospects. It can prepare you for that next job and assignment, and just tell your story more effectively in terms of how sharp a professional you are. But it can also be a continuing source of solopreneur or consulting income. It can be a hub for social media interaction with your audience. Now, WordPress really dominates the web, and WordPress.com is the easier entree into that WordPress environment. WordPress.com in particular offers just a real wealth of self-help resources and support. And then, not to make this sound too easy, once the site is set up, to do a page or do a post and move around images and text is not that difficult. What does take time is the design effort and getting all your content or generating new content and having that available to you. And then let's just look, I covered the setup steps, which are on my old pro bono blog. Let's just look at the, well, I'm going to have to I think, shift myself to another focus of another site. This is the WordPress.com site you see on the internet. So if you want to get started and actually set up your own account and blog for free, this is where you do it. You'd hit the get start button, and then they have various products and other activities that are sort of done for you. And there's an opportunity here to look for the various plans, the products as they are sharing, and plans. I'm within my dashboard, but you can see this on the internet site for WordPress.com as well. I just couldn't lay my hands on the right tab. So this is the array of possibilities. Once you're familiar enough with WordPress to go beyond it, you can have a personal site or a premium site. You're going to get most of what you need paying. They charge by the year, $4 or $8 a month. That is probably more than enough power that you need. And then these are the features, what it will do for you. They have a promotional, they'll give you a free domain for 1 year, lots of free themes. The upgrade from personal to premium includes more themes. Live chat support is very well done. It's worth getting to sort of advise you as you go. They have a special PayPal link, which you can also get, and it integrates with Google Analytics, which is the most popular piece of software to monitor your site traffic. And then the question was site monetization. This plan will allow you to do that. You can also do videos actually on the website, not just YouTube. You can put your own videos up. My advice is these are more expensive packages, business in particular. That will allow you to use most of all the plugins on the web and most of all the themes on the web, and get a little more sophisticated with searchability and other aspects of the site. But at this stage, you may just be willing to go to a WordPress.org site, which has a lot of the power built in, and not necessarily scale up to WordPress.com.
Gary, one of the things you mentioned early on was scalability. It's there are all of these various packages that are offered, starting with the most simple, the $4 per month, for example. And then as you get more sophisticated in what you want to do, and the current plan that you have doesn't accommodate it, then you can scale up to the next level, or you can just figure out what else do you need and how to add to that plan. And WordPress will allow you to migrate your current content into that next package fairly easily.
Yeah, it's easy to do. You just look at this site here. They're always happy to upgrade your plan. So if we go back to the Marketing Maven site, for example, under upgrades, they will allow you. Let me here start from the beginning. They're happy to upgrade you to another plan. So that's where you would do this. So yeah, there's nothing that needs to be done on your part. It's not going to affect really the site. It's just you'll be paying for what was otherwise a free site. There is an annex with other resources. So you can, this is only the start of your website journey. So you can do a lot of things. You can try podcasting. There are Google tools like Google Workspace, where you can work with selected teams. This was brought up earlier. How do you work with a small group? And I have a link here to GGCC. That's my Chamber of Commerce. So real world events are much more, are very important part of the marketing package. This is going back to the demo I did of the library, fans of the library site. Mobile design considerations are important, and there's a feature on the site to actually show you how the site looks on a mobile basis. You want to keep that in mind as you're doing this. And then this slide just discusses the two sites that I showed you, the public site, fans of the library, and then one that was members only. And then this is a slide just showing the power of design. This is a page that was done in WordPress by the organizers of a conference in St. Louis in 2019. And they basically just use circles and rectangles, but they use them very effectively to talk about the various phases of the conference and invite people at these icons at the bottom where to get practical information. And I think that's about the size of it.